Hello again. This is Evan. Um, I got a free minute, and so I wanted to continue this um, this video commentary series, I guess you could call it, on the first 5 tracks from my first EP called Identity. And so earlier, in the previous video, we had set up the precedent for all of this stuff, how it's gonna be, what stuff I'll have to talk about, and exactly, and just giving y'all a good idea of how I'm gonna do it, right? Um, um, yeah, it's like Identity came out in I made Identity, the EP, in 2015. I finished it before 2016, but it came out in 2016. And in the previous video, I just wrote down some stuff that I wrote back at that time, and that I posted on Tumblr. And I'm using my Fire tablet here. Her name is Monica. To basically retrieve those old ideas that I wrote down while I was making Identity. I wrote something down for each song, and so essentially this is a continuation of that. We already discussed track 1, which is the title track, Identity. Very nice with that one. And so now we are about to go into track 2, which is called That Hype Dough. I'm going to start reading now. Track 2 is simply a lighthearted joke. I was thinking of rhymes last summer, and this was the summer of 2015. And the 2 lines, got my pants ripped up, uniform like Goku, more fire songs than my avatar Roku, ultimately evolved into That Hype Dough. This song is really me showing my fun, seemingly careless side in a jokingly cocky, hip-hop based, hopefully mainstream worthy song. I was so thirsty back then for attention and exposure for my music, but honestly, rightfully so, because honestly, that's the same way that I am now. It's just that I'm a bit less pandery about it, you know? And so, where was I? Let's see. So this song is really me showing my fun, seemingly careless side in a jokingly cocky, hip-hop based, hopefully mainstream worthy song. I just start by spitting random rhymes and references from Green Day to Harry Potter, laced with substance for a while before delving into a bit of real stuff. The chorus is meant to be laughed at and to bring up that hype dough at parties and stuff. Just to give people something to be excited about, you know, that was really the primary intent around it. And so the production, which I really love, and I'm really proud of. Even back then. Back then certainly, but even now, it's a really good song. I think it holds up. So hold on just a second. So the production. The production has a lot of Beck influence as well as NWA, and alternative rock influence. new and old Taylor Swift influences, and this is circa 2016, 2017, and so it's like back when Taylor had 5 albums. Her latest one was 1989, and she was working on Reputation. And so it's like that's what I mean when I say new and old Taylor Swift influences can also be found in the chorus and super intricate drum beat. It's funny because the drum beat for that Hype though is actually the thing that took the longest. I started working on that beat in earnest in like August, like late August 2015. It didn't really turn into something that I could really work with until like maybe mid, but certainly by late October 2015. And also, the overwhelmingly vast majority of all the lyrics in that song were actually recorded in a single day. In fact, it was that single day when whenever I recorded, like whenever I felt that the beat was ready and the drums, and I added my bass guitar and some acoustic stuff and just some like little like thingies here and there, like just little tidbits, nuances, and intricacies and stuff to the beat. Like I said, the beat, specifically the drum beat, the drum pattern, the drum programming, actually was the thing that took the longest time. Like, that was a thing that took weeks, whereas the actual recording with the song and the bass and the acoustic guitar, all of those, they just happened in like almost entirely in the same day, in like maybe part of mid, but definitely by late October, like before Halloween 2015. Yeah. So yeah, and so like that's the super and hey. Yeah, so that's the so new and old Taylor and hey. And so new and old Taylor Swift influences can also be found in the chorus and super intricate drum beat. And I also used a and I also used an array of different rapping styles to create something on my own. And the main message of the song is there doesn't always have to be a point to things. It can be just for fun or just because you want to. Jokes are almost always in style. And it's funny because it's like I feel like 18, 19-year-old Evan here was being in 2016, 2016, maybe probably 2017. I think he was being a little cautious because 26-year-old me, he definitely says, jokes are always in style, because the thing is that I feel like a lot of people are way too serious. And sure, he had a necessity, like younger me had a necessity, like to be a bit more serious, and that's why he said jokes are almost always in style. But like, I'm proof that that younger man, that younger person, ended up lightening up, and just. I take life a lot less seriously now than I did back then, because it was before I found out just how many things in life were literally jokes, even though like we were taught to take them more seriously. And so that's how I wrote down back then. However, like there's something else I want to share with you that I couldn't have foreseen at the time that I wrote this, that has shown itself to be true over the course of the years. Thank you, Monica. And Tenzin is still recording. He's my phone. He's my iPhone. yeah, and so the thing I wanted to share with you about that hype though that I couldn't have foreseen and I couldn't have written about back then, is really how interesting like that hype story is within the context of my discography and all the other songs in it. Because something really interesting that happened is that like ever since the first time I played it, and that hype was the first song that I had finished for Identity. It was the first song that I had just like completely finished. It was the song that like, boom, here you go. And so in like late October 2015, like I walked into my parents' room. I walked into my parents' room and played it for my dad for the first time, and he had never heard like a fully like put together song like from me, his son, ever. And the thing is that like I understand like that there's like a deep special sort of magic to that. However, it's really interesting to me because it's really interesting to me because it's really interesting to me because she it's really interesting to me because if this is your first time watching a video of mine, I am autistic. I struggle to communicate, and my videos are unedited, unfiltered, and they are that way because I don't really care about how I'm perceived so much as I'm more so concerned about getting my message out and messages out. And so um, these videos may run longer, like compared to other videos that are more heavily edited. However, I don't really, I'm not after the same things they are, and I, along with other people who have seen my videos or, excuse me, otherwise heard me speak or had any conversation with me for any length of time more than like 90 seconds to 2 minutes, like they'll let you know that like whatever I have to say, like no matter how long it takes me to say, it'll be worth that person's while. And that's sort of the thing that they've always found and that they've always told me. It's funny, my friend Jordan, like we've been friends since like 2008, and we both make music together. We've bonded over a mutual love of music, like not only listening to it but also like creating it as well. And it's funny because it's like I was explaining to some new mutual friends uh, of mine slash ours, the base. I was trying to tell them something really like important that would help them to like to see a bad situation they were in a positive light. And it's funny because the way that Jordan and I was acutely aware that like yes, I was talking to them in circles. And then like Jordan popped in. Like this is really the really cool part about our dynamic as friends and as people, as brothers, really. And that's that. As soon as I said, and I know I'm talking in circles, like Jordan chimed in and assured our mutual friends, like, yeah, but like they're crop circles, like they're going somewhere. Like I'm like, hey, like don't worry about it, just stick with it and just wait. They're crop circles, they're going somewhere, and I just really think that that's really cool. But either way, like if this is your first time seeing any sort of content from me, then like that's sort of something that you can expect. Um, at least at this point, it's just easier for me to get like these ideas out to you in an unedited way, because I think that getting them out is more important than how they're packaged per se. But anyways, now that that sort of information is out there for all the people who might be hearing this for the first time, essentially, the other thing I wanted to share with you about that hype though is that like it's one of those songs. In fact, like it's the thing is that like if you look at my streaming services, like it's deeply disputed what sort of tracks are like standout favorites per se, like among like across all platforms. Including SoundCloud, which was the original platform that Identity and my second project, which we'll get into at some point in the future. Essentially, those were very it's like the thing is that if you look at all of my singles, if you look at all my singles and all my top songs across all my platforms, then you'll find that there really isn't like a major consensus about which songs are like the absolute best. I don't have like a clear like major hit, and I'm happy about that. However, one thing that I would say that one song that I would say is like and by proxy it being the first song I ever released as a single, like one song that has kind of been in the running like ever since I started releasing music is that Hype Dough. It's 4 minutes and 6 seconds. And yet for every single person I've ever played it for, like either they're into it like just before the first like verse when the beat drops, or if not then, everybody's in by the first chorus. And so it's very interesting how that Hype Dough is sort of amassed this sort of universal appeal for just about for just about everybody who has ever played it. And I say just about everybody because there have been some people who have discovered it like on the streaming services whom I don't really know all that much about. However, I can speak for anybody for whom I've played the song like in person for them, and each time they're all just like, the thing is that like that Hype Dough was the first song that I created that like really seemed to have a universal and mass appeal, like a mass universal appeal. And the thing is that it's really fascinating because it's like if I were to rank the songs on Identity, because it's like it's Identity, that Hype Dough, The Underlier, Why I Don't Care, and What I Sound Like. And if I were to rank those songs, like in terms of which ones I like best, personally, if I had to, I really love them all, but if I really had to delve into and dive into my preferences, like for these songs, essentially what I'd be doing, I'm pausing because I think I think I hear my mom like maybe like prepping some stuff for lunch, but and it gave me pause. But either way, basically the thing is that I just wanted a. Hold on, let me get my thoughts together. Yeah. So, well, the thing is, like, if I were to rank the 5 songs on Identity, it would basically be. At number 1, it would be Why I Don't Care. At number 2, it would be Identity. And then at number 3, it would be that Hype Dough. And then number 4 would be The Underlier. And then number 5 would be What I Sound Like. Hold on just a second. Okay, so it's funny, this is the first time I've ever had to make a cut in a video. But basically, like my mom did need me for something, and so I just fulfilled that for a second. Anyways, I'm back. So I'm gonna get this point out again. Like, again, it's like crop circles. They're leading somewhere. Like, I'm always gonna lead you somewhere worthwhile, or I'm always going to try to, at least, even if your perception of what I have to say is different. Either way, and it's cool because it's like this could be a really good like podcast sort of experience too. I'm thinking too. Anyways, yeah. So basically, it's very interesting how that Hype Dough is a song that has like universal acclaim, and like universal, and has like universal mass appeal, despite being my third like favorite song on a 5-song EP, in the sense that if you had to put it on a scale from best to worst, which I don't think you have to, but if you wanted to, if you must, essentially that puts that Hype Dough as like a middle of the road single or song. And so it's I think it's a good song. I don't think I would have put it out if I didn't think it was good. It's just that like that Hype Dough and its success, it surprised me. I was like, huh, that's fascinating. Very fascinating. And so anyways, like that was 2015, 2016. Like I'll never forget the time when I spoke to I'll never forget the time when I'm sorry, I paused because like there was something going on with the fridge and I could like hear a beeping sound. Either way. Essentially, like, where was I? Let's see. Yeah, essentially this was a time, or oh yeah, the first time I played it for Dad. Yeah, so I'll never forget the first time I played that Hype Dough for my dad. It was it wasn't a fully done version, in the sense that the Kabasa sounds were a bit too present in the mix, and it's like it was my first sort of mixing exercise to like turn those down in order to sort of like open up the nuance for the rest of the track. But excuse me. But it's interesting. Let me get my water real quick. Snap, this is already going to be longer than the Identity one. Either way, it's fascinating because the thing is, it's fascinating because the thing about that Hype Dough, like the first time I played it for my dad, like it was a version where the shuffling kibosses were a bit too loud. And yet, despite that, and it was before I like did my first ever mixing exercise, which was basically to quiet down those kibosses to sort of like open up all the amazing extras and nuances of the beat, so as to like let it breathe, so to speak, or as Logic often says, and also as Wale said in 100 Miles and Running, like by Logic, not by like, was that NWA? Anyways, yeah. And it's interesting how it's like, ever since then, I think that's what sold Dad on like buying all these different like things that he's got that he's helped me to get over the years, like to build my studio. And it's like now I've had almost all the major pieces for like a good 10 years now. I've added other instruments, I've improved like headphones, microphones, and stuff like that, and I've gotten like actual like made pop filters and different things like that. And if you're watching this on YouTube, it's cool because you can see me pointing to these things and like giving you like motions and different things like that. Anyways, it's very interesting about that hype though, because like it, like the mind boggles, like it literally like boggles my mind. I'm sorry, the cicadas outside were distracting me, and they still are, but and even though they're distracting me, I am decidedly like not going to let them stop me. Anyways, yeah, so at the end of the day, it's very interesting that a song that I thought and to and on many important fronts still think is sort of like a just a middle of the road song, like how that song, how that hype though is like such a powerful song for a lot of different people, and it's one that literally just, it lights people up, either like when the beat drops or in that first chorus, and then from there they're just stuck in, they're just lodged in, they're hooked in. It's like Logic said, I gotta open their mind to design the right time to make a decision to get in them like an incision, you know? And so, yeah, it's just very interesting how that goes. Anyways, that's about it. Anyways, that's about all that I have for that hype though. It's gonna be an interesting experience putting 2 video clips in DaVinci Resolve and basically just clipping them together real quick. And so, it's a new program for me. Like my older videos, I use like Windows Movie Maker, and it was a lot easier to like do what I needed to do with that one. But like DaVinci Resolve, it's like that's a new thing. It's like this is like my older and oldest videos. It's like that was like late 2000s, early 2010. This is like mid 2010. This is like mid 2020s. And so it's a different monster altogether. And so I say all that to say, thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. And I really hope that this like added a lot of value to like this song of mine, that hype dough, and also next time you listen to it, I really hope that you are able to appreciate all these different things. And ultimately, like, I'm not a proponent of what I call interpretation monopoly, which is like that there's only one right way to see things. the thing is that I don't think that there is a right way to see things. I don't think that there's a wrong way to see things, because I don't think that there's just one right way. And so I say that to, and so I say all that to say that these songs are open to your interpretation as well, and any sort of meaning that you ascribe to that Hyped or Identity or any of my other songs. I have a secret for you. Your perception is right too. Anyways, that's basically it. Like for this episode, I love you. I'm really glad that you're here with us. I'm glad that you exist. And I'll see you soon. And last thing, if you want to hear that Hyped, I've linked the playlist, or I've linked the playlist where you can hear my songs. I've linked my playlist to where I put all the songs and the music videos, like for all the songs and Identity, as well as episode 1 where I talk about the title track Identity. And so you'll be able to find all of those in this card that pops up right about here and now. Anyways, it's cool. I've always wanted to do that. Yeah, so I love you. I'm glad you exist. Comment any sort of anything that you have in mind, good or quote unquote bad. I welcome it all. It's all good. You can tell me whatever the heck you want. A good, bad, or indifferent, even if it's like a yes or a keep doing it or a life story or paragraphs upon paragraphs. It's like I love all that stuff. I love reading comments. I love doing all these different things that tie into connection. And so and the thing is, like, my parents are always like, Evan, like you should go and connect with people. And it's like, I know and they've been saying that to me since I was a kid. And it's funny because like, even though like YouTube comments aren't necessarily like what they had in mind in like the 2000s, I still think it's valid. And so I'm really happy and excited to see like what sort of things like you guys have to say. And also I implore you to say something. I invite you to say something. I strongly invite you to say something, because I am autistic, which means I am mind blind, which means I can't read your mind unless you let me know what you're thinking. And so any sort of thing you want to put in the comments, any sort of thing. And again, it could be as simple or as complex as you want, good or quote unquote bad comments or anything. Like just any sort of thoughts that you have, I just want to hear them and I welcome them all. So, for the last time in this episode, I love you. I am so glad that you exist here among us at this point in history, whenever you're watching this, whenever you're listening to this. And I'll see you soon. I'm going to turn the camera off now. So, bye.